We are getting close to dropping our preseason top 25 rankings later in July, and you can expect a team or two to land into the discussion of best single-season teams since 2010. We're featuring a bracket of the 16 best, and this is what the field would look like, and the one thing they all have in common is they finished that year undefeated. Modern Day checks in as the #1 overall seed, and what they did during the 2017 campaign was one of the best single seasons any high school football team has ever had. They snapped Bishop Gorman's 55-game winning streak, smacked New Jersey Power Bergen Catholic 62-14, beat Long Beach Poly and Mission Viejo in the CIF Southern Section playoffs, beat St. John Bosco twice by double digits, and beat De La Salle 52-21 to claim the school's first ever CIF state championship. And when it came to talent, they had it all over the field. JT Daniels was named the MaxPreps Player of the Year after throwing for over 4,000 yards and 52 touchdowns. Tommy Brown, Chris Murray, and Miles Morale dominated on the offensive line. Almonra St. Brown, Brew McCoy, CJ Parks, Nico Remigio, and Mike Martinez gave JT 5 big-time targets on offense. Jacoby Harper and Chris Street were one of the top 1-2 duos in the backfield, and on defense they were loaded, led by Solomon Tuliao Pupu, Nate Logoleo, Mace Funa, Austin Failau, Elias Ricks, Darion Green Warren, and Will Nemo. They went wire to wire as the #1 team in the country and never trailed at any point during the 2017 season. A close second was the 2016 Bishop Gorman team. They check in at #2, and they were loaded and started the year with a dominant 44-14 dub over Cedar Hill in Texas. They also had notable wins over St. John Bosco, St. Thomas Aquinas, Cocoa, Kahuku, and beat a legit Liberty team in the 4A state championship 84-8. Tate Martell was named the 2016 MaxPreps Player of the Year after throwing for nearly 2,500 yards, and he had 41 touchdowns to only 1 interception, and he added another 1,200 yards on the ground to go with 21 more scores. They also had Biagio, Ollie Walsh in the backfield, Brevin Jordan, Dorian Thompson Robinson, Jalen Naylor, and Tyjon Lindsay making plays at wide receiver, and Pele Inaoteote led a very talented defense, and they also had Haskell Garrett along with Bubba Bolden. The Gales finished the year at #1 and outscored the opposition 794-130. Jabril Peppers 2011 Don Bosco Prep team checks in at #3. They went wire to wire as the #1 team in the country and had notable wins over Mission Viejo, Manatee, St. Edward, St. Joseph Regional, and beat Bergen Catholic twice, including a 42-14 win in the non-public Group 4 championship game to give them its 6th consecutive title. Booker T. Washington's 2013 team checks in at #4, and Trayon Harris led them to a 14-0 record, and they started the season out with 2 big-time wins. The first came on the road in Georgia against the defending 6A state champs Norcross 55-0. Then after that, they took down Dalvin Cook and Miami Central in a 1-versus-2 matchup and won 28-17. They also had a big-time road win in Vegas against Bishop Gorman and won the 4A Florida State title 40-21 over Bulls to finish the season at #1 in the country. 2 Kyler Murray squads make the list, and up first is the team that finished the 2014 year at #1. All he did that season was throw for nearly 5,000 yards and rush for 1,500 more to go with 78 total touchdowns. Now, while the Allen team in 2013 might have been more talented, Murray was playing at an even higher level during a senior campaign. He became the first player in the MaxPreps era to win the Football Player of the Year award in consecutive seasons after leading Allen to its 3rd straight state title in Texas's largest classification. The first team that didn't finish that respective season at #1 checks in at 6 in the field, and it was IMG Academy's 11-0 team from 2016. The Ascenders were loaded with talent. They had Kellen Mond under center, Trey Sanders and Austin Martin in the backfield, Jamon Osborne, Brian Hightower, and Emmanuel Green at wide receiver, Dylan Moses, Grant Delpit, Teron Vincent, Josh Kando, Robert Beal, and Isaiah Pryor on defense, and they had notable wins over Corona Centennial, Grayson, St. John's, Trinity Christian Academy, St. Francis Academy, and Bishop Sullivan Catholic. The second of 3 teams from the 2013 season was Josh Rosen's led St. John Bosco squad that won a perfect 16-0 and snapped De La Salle's 40-game winning streak to win the school's first ever CIF state title. They also had notable wins over Corona Centennial, Chandler, and Modern Day twice. This team had it all. The offensive line was led by Damian Mama, Shea Fields, Sean McGrew, and Jalil Wadood were all big-time players on offense, and the former UCLA safety was also a big-time playmaker on defense. No one in this top 16 had a better defense than the KATY squad of 2015. The Tigers check in at #8, and that year, Gary Joseph's team only allowed 3.9 points per game and shut out 10 of 16 opponents. In their 6 playoff games en route to winning the UIL Texas 6A Division II state championship. They outscored the opposition 309-44, including a dominant 34-7 win against Charlie Brewer and a very talented Lake Travis squad. The other two teams to round out the top 10 include two schools who were featured in the top 6, and up first at number 9 is IMG Academy's 2017 team. The Ascenders finished the season undefeated and were loaded with playmakers that included Trey Sanders, Xavier Thomas, Brendan Radley-Hiles, Nolan Smith, TJ Pledger, Noah Kane, Teron Vincent, Brian Hightower, Jermaine Burton, Evan Neal, Charles Thomas, Mike Jones Jr., Houston Griffith, and Curtis Dunlap Jr. Allen's 2013 state championship team checks in at 10, and during Kyler Murray's junior campaign, he threw for 3,700 yards and had another 1,200 on the ground to go with 64 total touchdowns. They also had a big-time defense led by Christian Sam and Tay Evans. Bishop Gorman's 2014 team checks in at number 11, and they are the only school to appear on the list 3 separate times. This was the year the world was introduced to Tate Martell in Vegas. During the sophomore season, they flexed their muscle against some of the best teams from the West Coast and started the year off with wins over Brophy College Prep, Servite, Bingham, Corona Centennial, Santa Margarita, and capped it off with a win on ESPN against Josh Rosen and St. John Bosco. The other Gorman squad featured was the 2015 team, and they check in at number 14 overall in the 16-team field. And you knew De La Salle was going to check in at some point, and I know there's going to be a big debate that the 2015 team was the best, but the 2010 team gets the nod because they ran the table and finished that year undefeated and at number 1 in the excellent 25 rankings. The 2010 squad won a perfect 14-0 and won every game by double digits, including a dominant 48-8 win over a very good Servite team in the CIF Open Division State Championship. The defending national champs from 2018 check in at number 13, and it is Houston Power North Shore High School. They won a perfect 16-0 last year and won 15 of those games by double digits and beat a legit Duncanville team that finished in the top 5 on a game-winning 45-yard touchdown pass to win the school's first state title since 2015 in the 6A Division I championship. Colquitt County's 2015 team checks in at number 15. They ran the table and finished the year at number 2 in the final excellent 25 rankings. They are one of 3 teams featured from the 2015 season, joining KATY and Bishop Gorman. The last team checking in at number 16 is the lone representative from Louisiana, and it is John Curtis Christian's 2012 squad. They finished the year at number 1 and were loaded with talent led by Malachi Dupree. They won a perfect 16-0 and outscored the opposition 800-80. And make sure to hit us up on social media and let us know what you think and who is the best team since 2010, and we will be releasing our preseason football content leading up to July 22nd when we drop our initial top 25 rankings.